blurred momentarily in the space between them. Loud gunshots echoed in the alley as both men fired. The bullets impacted an invisible field emitted by the experimental active deflector, producing a spark with each hit. The rounds hit the ground at Daniel's sides. "Nice, Nessie. It works better than you said." He resumed running as the deflector hit the ground, blocking further bullets. With a grin, he yanked out a sonic grenade and twisted, whipping the device in their direction. The elf responded with a fireball that destroyed the deflector and shoved Daniel forward. It took his breath away, and he gasped for air. He knew enough to not try to gulp oxygen in, and instead inhaled slowly as his feet kept moving. His head swam, but the sensation cleared quickly as his lungs filled to capacity again. Thick smoke shrouded the alley behind him. Blackened scorch marks marred the asphalt road and the brick of the nearby buildings. Small fragments of the deflector lay strewn about the alley. It was good at deflecting bullets, but fireballs? Not so much. Need a generic force field already. I have to make sure I note that in my report. Sorry I broke your shiny new toy, Nessie.
"Be careful,"
one of the men yelled from behind the smoke.
"We make too much trouble, and the anti-magic gendarmerie will come."
The elf snorted.
"He dies, we run. They can clean it up. This is easy."
Daniel checked their positions behind him quickly, but could only see the outlines of their forms as they moved toward him through the smoke. He stayed low and ran as bullets whizzed down the alley, missing him by inches.
"You guys are making it really hard for me not to kill you."
He yanked out another sonic grenade, and this time he lobbed it high. People in firefights tended to look forward, not up. The telltale whine was swallowed by more gunshots, and a second later, the two humans fell to the ground, groaning. The elf snorted and walked closer. A glyph glowed in the center of his forehead, and a red aura surrounded his body. He raised his hands and made intricate movements. The sound of distant sirens cut through the air. Daniel didn't have time to have a chat with the local authorities. Even if the U.S. government secured his eventual release, he doubted the powerful tracking amulet he'd retrieved from the gang at the hotel would end up back at Langley. He snatched a grapple gun from inside his jacket and fired toward the roof edge of a tall building. The line retracted and pulled him up as another fireball ripped through the alley. The heat washed over him, but his black Oxfords remained unburned. Daniel liked those shoes, and these were fresh out of the box that morning. With practiced ease, he reached the roof and pulled the hook away from the edge. Any sense of satisfaction vanished as the elf rocketed to the same roof on a stream of concentrated fire beneath his arms and legs. Great, a real-life firestorm. He's not burning? Damn magical. No one has the decency to hide their hocus-pocus anymore and cause mayhem the old-fashioned way. Let's show him how it's done. The agent pulled his gun and opened fire. The bullets melted a yard away from the elf, who jumped to the side to avoid the molten metal. On second thought, he muttered. He holstered his pistol and shook his head, pulling out his grapple gun. Time for a little test. The elf gave him a grin, the gold tooth glinting in the sun. "You can't run forever. You realize that now, I hope." "Not running, merely evaluating tactical possibilities." He fired the gun directly at the elf. The hook in the line melted at the same distance as the bullets, but none of the molten metal reached the target. It was worth a shot. He sighed and tossed it to the ground. There went more of the American taxpayers' money. The elf chuckled. "Give me the amulet." "I don't feel like it." The sirens grew in volume. A black dot trailed by gray grew in the distance in the sky. What the hell is that? The elf frowned. "Give me the amulet or die." Daniel shook his head. "Not only don't I feel like it, but I also can't let you keep it. My bosses would get pissed and I could lose my pension. If your stupid little gang had minded their own business, they probably wouldn't have attracted the attention of my employers, and we wouldn't be having this conversation." The dot grew closer. It was now clearly revealed as a man hurtling through the sky and leaving a trail of smoke behind him.